What is up, everybody? Welcome to a special edition of Steel City Live here on Mike Drop Sports as we are getting ready for Monday Night Football in the wild card round, the end of Super Wild Card Weekend as your Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Houston Texans live in Acrisure Stadium in the city of Pittsburgh. And it is football weather. The atmosphere is going to be electric, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have to get this done and to get this monkey off of their back of not winning some playoff games. And I believe maybe tonight, maybe the night, but you'll have to wait until the end of the show to know exactly who I picked for tonight's matchup going into this game. Again, super wild card weekend comes to a conclusion just like the regular season did, and that was with the Pittsburgh Steelers in the final game. Can we get another heart stopper? Can we get another instant classic? I think the answer is yes. I'm just not sure which side that classic goes to in terms of the win column. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be in a dogfight, and we will talk about that Houston Texans defense. We will talk about the Houston Texans and their playoff record, and we will talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and their active roster here for tonight as we move forward. Let's dive into the chat and welcome everybody here to our special playoff edition here on Mike Drop Sports. We truly appreciate it. What's up, Ragu? Yes, I think the natural grass is definitely going to be an issue. I read some of your comments earlier and I replied to you in the chat. Glad to see you. Big Zaw Curry, Grim Medusa, you lucky duck. I wish I could tailgate down there, or I would have fun down there. Oh, not me, man. I ain't down there. Not me. I won't be down there tonight. But yeah, I wish I was. I wish I was, man. Absolutely. Let's go. Good to see you, Big Tom Ford in the house. What's Tom got to say here tonight? I'm wagering a bet on Hard Rock for the Steelers to win, Aaron Rodgers to get 2 passing TDs, and CJ Stroud to get 2 passing TDs. I'm betting $20 and could win 205.32. I hope you win it, man. Good to see you, Big Tom. I hope you kick that bet's ass. Joshua Shields in the house. Good evening, my good man. Here we go. Here we go. Steelers Nation. Wild Herb Ways. NFL is scripting a hard sack on Rodgers with Rudolph playing second half. NFL will be using the nano impregnated bladder gate ball 9% trajectory alteration on extra points and field goals. Steelers and OT. That's a mouthful, brother. I hope you're not right. Black Magic in the house. What's up, Jamal? Good to see you. Let's go. Big time tonight. Absolutely. Let's get it done. Super chat coming in from another Wombat. Let's go, Steelers, from another Wombat. Appreciate that super chat, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Thomas Breeze in the house. Let's go. Cam and TJ need this on their resumes. Absolutely. This is a defining fucking moment right now. Excuse me if I yelled into your ear. I apologize now, but you might want to turn the volume a little bit down tonight because shit is about to get real up in this bitch. I'm going to tell you this. TJ Watt, Cameron Hayward, fuck, Mike Tomlin needs it tonight. They need this to cement their legacies and to put themselves into the Steeler history books. You don't make it into the Steeler history books unless you're a world champion. Point blank, period. And if you're TJ Watt or you're Cam Hayward, you got to bring that shit tonight. You got to bring that shit tonight. There is no tomorrow. It's tonight. God damn, dude. They got to fucking bring it tonight. They got to bring it. They got to put the pressure on CJ Stroud. They got to make plays. You got to see him show up in the stat sheet if you want the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game. It's a must-have. Like, share, subscribe. Super chats are always open. Membership's 99 cents a month. We appreciate all of that as we cruise through the end of Super Wild Card Weekend and what could potentially be the Pittsburgh Steelers' last game of the 2025-2026 season, or it could be the Houston Texans' last game of that same year here, and we'll see what happens. Robert Road in the house. I picked Houston to win but they will not get more than 2 to 3 sacks against the Steelers. Rodgers gets rid of the ball way too fast for the Texans to get a bunch of sacks. Hoping I'm wrong on my pick. I'm hoping you are too. And as always, I'm sitting here and I come up with my pick and my selection as the show moves forward. And a lot of you dictate that pick for me because I get the vibe from Steelers Nation. I feel Steelers Nation. And that's why Mike Drop Sports is a place to be. Make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. Daniel Barry, Sports Highlights. Good to see you here on a playoff day. Grim Medusa. That spin on Boswell kick was definitely chip magic. Guys, that was not a missed kick on Boswell against the Ravens. That, again, was not a missed kick. That was a blocked kick, guys. Make sure you know that. I hope it's not another nail biter. That's from my Floyd is Pink 79. Good to see you, man. I hope it's this. I hope it's a good game. And I'm going to tell you this, guys, and I don't think you want to hear this as Steeler fans, but this isn't going to be a blowout. Neither way will this be a blowout. And I hope I'm right about that. Because, well, unless it favors the Steelers. But you are going to be bitching. You are going to be moaning. You are going to be fired up and down and depressed during this game. Why? Because it's going to be a grind out game. But at the end, you're going to be fired up. You're going to be happy. You're going to be okay. I promise you. I feel it. I feel it. But I don't know if I can pick the Steelers in my head here on the show because I don't know if it's good juju. I'm still debating. Za Curry coming in with a super chat. We thank you, Za Curry. Let's effing go. Absolutely. We appreciate that super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always appreciate your support here on Mike Drop Sports. Like, share, and subscribe. Autumn McCaddy 35-95. I got the Steelers winning 28-20. I hope you're right. That would be a hell of a ball game. A really good ball game, in my opinion. Zach Curry isn't too good to bet against your team, though. Never been into betting or fantasy. I don't bet with the Steelers. I don't bet on the Steelers. I don't ever place bets for teams that I root for. I think it's bad juju. I think it's just something you shouldn't do. That's just my opinion. I think it sets you up for failure and pain. Pain and gain will have a huge game. Here we go. Absolutely. Yes, gain. Grant Ogren in the house. What's up, Big Grant? Good to see you. I know I probably mispronounced your freaking name. I know, but bless you, my friend. I hope God's treated you well this week so far here early in the week, and I hope that the Steelers can get a win. If A-Rod is protected, gets the ball downfield, and we dominate the trenches, then I think we win this game. Here we go, Steelers. Well, absolutely. No doubt. That's what has to happen here tonight. That is it. And two, guys, let's take in this variable that a lot of people overlook. But the fans supply it. But the fans, they overlook it. And that is the ability to come and have a home playoff game against a really good football team in the Houston Texans. But this game is at home. For the first time since 2017, the Pittsburgh Steelers are playing with their home crowd behind them. Get that together, guys. I'm telling you, that's going to be very, very big. Let's get to a couple super chats that just came in. Let's go, Steeler Nation. Wrong towel, Steelers Nation. Lighten up those super chats tonight. First one coming from my Floyd is Pink 79. I have a feeling our D plays lights out tonight. I have a feeling that it's going to be true too. The second super chat coming in from our good friend Danny George, West Virginia native. Thank you, Danny, for that super chat. We truly, truly appreciate you, and we appreciate everybody that has so far donated to our super chats. We are kicking ass and taking names here early in Mike Drop Sports land. Applying pressure my way, LLC TV. What's up, bro? I'm just gonna call it. The Steelers will win by 3 points. You may be very right. Good to see you, man. Grant also says, I've bitten my nails enough today already. I hope you don't bite your nails more. But guess what? I think you're gonna. Super Dave 2409. What's he got to say? Repping the best safety in the biz tonight with my Palomalu jersey. Defense is going to be lights out tonight. Playoff football is Steelers defensive football. I hope, man, this is primed for Steelers football. Cold, Acrisure, big game, baby. Big pun says, why do we insist on giving Jonnu Smith carries out of the backfield? I don't know. I couldn't give you that answer. I think it's stupid as shit, too, big pun. And I agree with you. Another super chat coming in from Za Curry. Za, thank you, Za. Za says, we play up to the competition. I'm not worried. I hope you're exactly right, man. I hope you're exactly right. Speaking of nails, I got a cardboard cut between my fingernail that felt glorious. Yeah, those suck. I hate any type of paper cut. Tom Ford, heart attacks and high blood pressure go hand in hand with Steeler games. Abso-freaking-lutely. It's actually a very documented thing in the city of Pittsburgh, actually, and I heard this some time ago that chest pains and cardiac arrest and things of that nature do increase during significant Steelers matchups. Now, whether that to be true or not, I don't know. Now, I've worked in the hospital many years of my life, and I've never really paid attention to that. I usually am home watching those games, thankfully, but I've never really noticed that. So maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Challenger, no more excuses. Guys are healthy. Get it done. Otherwise, Tomlin will always be known as a choker. I agree. Tom Ford says, I talked to John Broadway a lot. Well, that's good, man. We've been thinking about John Broadway. I wish he would join back into the show, man. We definitely miss him, man. Do you think the Steelers can win this game tonight? That's from our friend Justin Meneke. Absolutely, I think they can win this game, but will they? Not sure. I'm going to give you my score prediction at the end of the show, so make sure you stick around here on Mike Drop Sports and Steel City Live, our live Pittsburgh Steelers playoff pregame show right here on the channel. We appreciate it. Another super chat coming in. Ramsey gets a pick tonight. Here we go, Steelers. That's from our friend, My Floyd is Pink 79. We appreciate that. Thank you for that second or third super chat. You're kicking ass and taking names in that category. Thank you, guys, as we have a goal set for 10 super chats tonight. So let's hit that goal. Again, 99 cents a month for memberships. We truly appreciate all of you. Jamal says, can we please hit Johnny when he's open and not overthrow him? Yeah, two big overthrows for Jonnu this year that really ring into my head. The one in Los Angeles against the Chargers, whom lost yesterday in dramatic fashion to the Patriots. So, guys, again, the winner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Houston Texans, travels to Foxborough to take on the number 2 seed New England Patriots in Foxborough in the divisional round. The Buffalo Bills will travel to the Denver Broncos 2 Mile High to take on the Denver Broncos as the number 6 seed. Definitely, though, the other big one was just last game. We saw Jonnu get overthrown. Man, I am hyped. Me too, man. Challenger says, getting my nap in, need the energy for the game. Me too, man. I'm already like wore down from doing this show, and I've only been on 15 minutes. As long as downtown John Broadway is okay. Yeah, absolutely. I don't care about him coming to the show. I'd like to see him at the show, but as long as he's doing okay, that's all I got to be talking about there. No doubt about it. We always send prayers to our friend downtown Johnny Broadway. Got to mix it up some. That's from Jamal. Yeah, you need to see a Steelers team tonight that's virtually just super balanced. That's how you beat a really good defense, guys. There's no real mystery on how to beat a good defense. There's no real formula that you have to follow other than being very balanced. If you can be very balanced as an offense, which I believe the Steelers have the better offense tonight, I will say that. Um, definitely. And you have to be balanced. And I think that's the biggest key. I think Jonu is great, is a great practice player or something. He must be, man. But he had a really good year last year, his best year ever. What jersey should I wear, TJ or DK? Um, Gesture prods. I'm going to say you got to go with old school, baby. You got to go TJ. TJ is that guy. TJ is that guy. We still have a signed jersey to give away, and we haven't done it. Sean won it and donated it back. So we still got to do that. But we never hit that 5,000 subscriber mark yet. So I'm not doing it until we hit that. But we will do that hopefully this summer. We're damn close. Soon as we get to that 5,000 subscriber mark, I'll put it back up some way, somehow. I smoke too much weed for high blood pressure. That's crazy. I haven't done that shit in a lot of years, man. No more for me. Black Magic. Jamal says that's crazy. It has to be true regarding the hospitalish and the Steelers. Yeah, no doubt, man. I think it is. I've never noticed as an employee of the hospital, so I couldn't tell you. Challenger guy actually had a heart attack on the Bettis fumble in the '05 Colts playoff. That's crazy. Justin says, I'll stick around. I'm a supporter. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate that, man. Robert Rhodes says that Bradley Cooper comment commercial came back to bite his Eagles. He said, Steelers fans wave little yellow napkins. You would think they would know better by then to disrespect the terrible towel Eagles. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, little napkins. I mean napkins, baby. These things have a lot of significant meaning, and I encourage you all, if you're not aware of what the terrible towel is and the history of the terrible towel, and it hasn't been around forever. And know who created that Myron Cope official terrible towel, and know the trials and tribulations of the towels. Know that Gimbel's department store sold out in its first two runs and sold out a lot. And Myron Cope always donating those proceeds and eventually donating all of those proceeds to the school, the Allegheny School, I believe it was called, where his son who had nonverbal autism, I believe, went to and donated all of those proceeds to where it's still like that today. And know the history of the towel and know how much it really truly means to the city of Pittsburgh, and know the curse of Myron Cope is alive and well, ladies and gentlemen. Know it, know it, know it. Absolutely, it does, dude. Late Steeler games kill me, man. The original Don. I've waited about 47 years for Houston to beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. I've forgotten the bad call in 1975 or 1979. Let's go Texans. Texans weren't even around in 1979, but you're talking about the old Houston Oilers because isn't that who it is? Would it be Houston Oilers? Or did the Texans, which franchise did the Texans get? Or was that? No, that would have been. No, I think they're just straight expansion. I don't know, man. Houston Oilers, you might be talking about, but the Houston Texans never had a bad call in 1979. The Houston Oilers may have. Not the same team. My Floyd is Pink 79. Here, I hear that 5 a.m. comes early. I hope it doesn't. Yeah, no doubt. My Floyd is Pink with another super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm not going to blow the air horn in your ears because we've been lighting the super chats up. The terrible towel is poised to strike double fucking yoy. Let's go. Absolutely, guys. Let's get to some of the things I want to bring up here tonight concerning Super Wild Card Weekend. Let me make sure I didn't miss that. Okay. Let's bring up Wild Card Weekend. Absolutely. Let's bring up the bracket and what has transpired so far throughout the playoffs. And again, here are your matchups. San Francisco will take on the Seattle Seahawks, the number one seed. And then you have the Rams taking on the Bears in Chicago, and the Bears are the two seed. So you have the five versus the two, and you have the six versus the one. Then you look at the final game here tonight, the Texans versus Steelers. Steelers go to New England also. So would the Houston Texans, considering they are the 4 and 5 seed respectively. This is the toughest matchup of the weekend, considering when you take into effect the 4 and 5 seed and how close they are in terms of seeding and you would assume that this would be the toughest matchup of the weekend. But that moves whoever wins this game to Foxborough to take on the number 2 seeded Patriots. The Buffalo Bills beating the Jacksonville Jaguars in dramatic fashion with a beat up football team, especially the quarterback, heading in, taking on the number 1 seed Denver Broncos. And I definitely think this bracket's still going to flip, and I don't foresee either the 1 or the 2 seed coming out of the AFC as the representative. Let's talk about some playoff records here. The Houston Texans have an 0-6 record in road playoff games, all of which were played in outdoor stadiums. The Texans have never won a playoff game in franchise history. All their road playoff losses, all their road playoff losses have come in the divisional round. So they're saying they've never lost in wild card weekend in terms of this, but they've all come in the divisional round. So maybe this is when they shake off that curse. We talked about that. Never have won a road playoff game. All the road playoff losses have come in the divisional round. We talked about that. Texans stadiums that they have lost in these road playoff games. January 15th, 2012 at M&T Bank Stadium against the Baltimore Ravens. January 13th, 2013 to the New England Patriots in Foxborough. In 2017, again to the Patriots. 2020, they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead in the divisional round. January 20th, 2024, back in Baltimore, losing again. And then January 2025, losing again to the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. Those are the places that the Houston Texans have lost those divisional round matchups. Let's get into CJ Stroud and his playoff record. Only here on Mike Drop Sports. We're kicking ass and taking names. CJ Stroud has a 2-2 playoff record in his career as of early 2026 with his 2 wins coming in his rookie year 2023 season, where he became the youngest quarterback to win a playoff game and lead the Texans to a wild card victory, followed by a divisional round loss. And he then lost his next playoff game in 2024 season, but he got a win in the 2025 wildcard round, solidifying a 2-2 start to his postseason tenure before the 2026 playoffs begin here tonight for CJ Stroud. So those are the Stroud things, and we are going to talk more about that. Let's continue to go. No one must be covering the Texans. LOL. No one should cover the Texans. Yeah, get the fuck up out of here. Nah, I'm playing. Texans fans are welcome, man, because your team probably is going to win. It's a 50-50 chance, right? Tom Ford, mark my words. The Steelers will not only beat the Texans tonight, they will go to the Super Bowl and win it. I know. I predicted that too. But I don't know about winning it. Robert Road, 27-13 in 1979. Houston kicked a field goal instead of a touchdown on that bobbled ball in the back of the end zone. If you give the Oilers 4 more points, they only lose by 10 instead of 14. Yeah, I don't buy it, man. And the Houston Oilers aren't the same as the Houston Texans, so that fan I think is just a little bit misguided because they're 2 different franchises. That's what happens when you lose your franchise, when you can't put fucking fans in the stands. Challenger, terrible towel started in 1975 playoff versus the Colts. Originally, people were bringing gold dish towels. Yeah, originally they weren't just yellow; they were black and gold. They were like different colors. So they were just like bring a towel, and everybody wave your towel. That's exactly how that started. You're right. The Oilers moved to Tennessee. Yep, and then they got the expansion. That's how it went, Robert. Thank you. Steelers 76. Let's go Steelers. Draper Lawson 796. Rodgers is going to make them all look bad. I got him schooling this Texans defense. The running back will be used to set up the play action. I got Pittsburgh 31-24. I hope you're right. Hey, H Town, Hell Town. You might be in hell tonight if you lose tonight after winning 9 straight. But man, it's hard to win 10 straight games in the NFL. I'm gonna be real with you. I've been watching football for a long time too, like you, the original Don. I've been watching football for a very, very long time, and you and I both know it is extremely difficult to win 9 games in a row, let alone 10. It is a very, very, very tall task. Big pun. Oilers should have moved to the CFL. Yeah, no shit. Justin Meneke. If the Steelers win tonight and play the Patriots next week, who do you think wins that matchup? If the Steelers, let me be real honest, and I'm not saying this, I'm not giving you and saying the Steelers won right now or that I think they're even going to win right now. I'm not giving that prediction just yet. But I will say this, if the Steelers win tonight, the momentum that this ball club is going to have, guys, is going to be unreal. After that dramatic Week 18 finish, that momentum is a real thing, man. It is a real variable that has to be taken into account. And when you shove a lucky rabbit's foot up the ass of a football team, they are very, very hard to beat. And I think the Steelers feel that lucky rabbit's foot lingering around up in their rectum right now. I really, really think that. The Steelers don't have a bad record coming into the playoffs either. They are probably the second hottest team, in my opinion, in the AFC, coming in with a 4-1 record in their last five. That's pretty hot, if you ask me, and solidifying their own path into the playoffs by beating a division rival, locking up the AFC North. Yeah, 10-7. I get it. Ain't far off from the Houston Texans record. We will rock you. I like it, Ragu. Texans gonna rock the Steelers. That's from Legend of D. Oh, go. Hey, don't be salty. Don't cry in your fucking cornflakes, Deke, that your team, who fucking has a quarterback who has never won a big game. I mean, he must be cursed. Did Lamar lose them that game in week 18? No, he didn't. That was probably the best I ever seen Lamar play in a big game. But let's be real about it. You take the three big plays that he hit out. Just three big plays. Three. That's it. And it wasn't even Lamar making those plays. You take those three gimme plays that the Steelers miscommunicated and left wide receivers wide open. You take those three plays out of it. The Steelers fucking blow out the Ravens in week 18. Not just beat them, blow them the fuck out. I mean, badly blow them out because they weren't doing shit other than that. They couldn't stop Aaron Rodgers. They couldn't do shit there. Couldn't stop the Steelers on the ground. Just saying. Texans ranked higher in running and passing yards, rushing defense and passing defense. We got to show up to compete. Yeah, everything's not pro football focus driven. Everything's not stat driven. I want to say this though, Thomas, and you're right, 1,000%. But what I talked about with momentum, that variable was real, and I understand Houston won 9 straight to get in. But the dramatic, but the dramatics that the Steelers have had to endure. The Steelers have been playing playoff football, guys, since December 7th. The Steelers have been playing playoff football since December 7th. We do realize that, right? The Steelers have been in playoff mode, full go, since December 7th. Oh, wow. What? How sad, man. Why would you even put that in there? It just shows your intelligence. And your name is stupid. You're talking about being a drug dealer. Chapo. Like El Chapo or something. If you want to like praise and glorify that, I could see why you put those stupid types of comments in somebody's chat. You're super unintelligent and a super big idiot. Challenger, Texans are the only AFC team Steelers have met in the playoffs. Texans are the only AFC team Steelers haven't met in the playoffs, you mean? Somebody got to go down. You're right. All right, guys, we are going to get to a lot of your chats. You guys are filling them up. So I'm going to have to go random. I'm not going to be able to read them all. Okay. I'm not going to be able to do all that because it's just going to keep taking the show up. And I got a lot of stuff I want to go over with you guys here tonight. So let's get to the first one that I want to get to here. Let's talk about CJ Stroud and his connection with Nico Collins. Let's talk about this heading into the matchup tonight. You have 3,041 passing yards this regular season to 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, a 62.1 QBR for CJ Stroud. This this is a big, big, big thing for CJ Stroud, and I love CJ Stroud. Regardless of the Texans fans talking shit, I would never say anything bad about this young man. I think he is a great young man, a really good ball player. I appreciate his faith. I appreciate the way he carries himself. He is a true franchise leader, and I got to hand it to CJ Stroud. I think he is a great, great, great example for youth and one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League when you look at the overall picture. But 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, not fantastic, not earth shattering. Nico Collins, he caught six of those touchdowns, but Nico Collins yet another year with over 1,000 yards receiving. But I think he's about it. Yeah, they got some tight ends. Yeah, they got some other players, but I think he's about it. I think if you lock him down with Joey Porter Jr., I think the Pittsburgh Steelers could have a really, really, really big game against that defense. And I think CJ Stroud really got to pay attention to Cameron Hayward tonight, guys. I think 36-year-old Cameron Hayward has been a man possessed as of late. I really do. I think right now, deep in his heart, I think Cameron Hayward has to have a Super Bowl because he feels so incomplete without it. He doesn't feel like he belongs in the history of the Steelers. He doesn't feel like he belongs in that fraternity. And he's said it over and over that not having that championship has made him not feel like he's part of that fraternity. And I think that he's right. I think he's accurate. And I really think CJ Stroud got to pay attention tonight because what is the objective with really mobile quarterbacks, guys that can really do it? CJ Stroud can throw from the pocket, but you put pressure and force him to climb the ladder inside of the pocket into the hands of who? Cameron Hayward, Derek Harmon, Y.A. Black, Keanu Benton, Logan Lee, anybody, all those guys. That's who you what you do. And what are the Steelers really, really fucking good at, guys? Getting their hands up and batting the football down. So you don't want CJ Stroud out on the move to the edges, playing backyard football, slinging it all over the place. You don't want that. You don't want that. You want to force him up into the pocket and smack the taste out of his mouth. And you want to block those passes. That's what you want to do with CJ Stroud. Let's take a look at. Oh wait, let's move. We'll go to defense next. I want to take a look at their running backs, Marks and Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb, we're very, very familiar with. 3 touchdowns, 506 yards for Chubb, averaging 4.1 yards per carry. Only 122 carries this season for Nick Chubb. Woody Marks, 196 carries. He's the major ball toter for the Houston Texans, 703 yards, only 2 touchdowns, averaging 3.6 yards per carry. But that's their running back tandems, and I definitely think the Steelers can control those guys, but it's going to be a key to this game, controlling the run, and I really think the Steelers have to come out and dictate that early. Let's get to really what makes the Houston Texans tick. Danielle Hunter, that's the big one here. What is that? 15 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, no interceptions, 28 solo tackles for Hunter. He's been lights out. Will Anderson Jr., big, 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 big time player here. 12 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 35 solo tackles is the big one for me when you talk about Will Anderson Jr., a guy that's getting to the football and knows for the football. And it really shows what is the real catalyst and the real engine of this Texans defense. But when we talk about the Texans defense, yes, those guys are benefiting, but what are they benefiting from? What are they benefiting from? It is big time secondary play. Derek Stingley Jr., Lassiter. These guys have really played lights out. 4 interceptions each, tons of tackles, tons of pass breakups. You talk about 15 for Stingley, 17 for Laster in terms of pass defended, but the big ones are those interceptions. But let's say this, Aaron Rodgers really doesn't turn the ball over. He really protects the football well. So those two guys here are very, very pivotal to the success of Hunter and Anderson. So let me rephrase what the engine is, I suppose. So I'm going to say this. The engine is really the secondary because they are allowing those players to hit home. So the Steelers, in theory, what they need to be able to do is what? is get the ball out quickly, which Aaron Rodgers does, and spread it around and keep that secondary back coming off their heels. You're going to see a ton of cover two shell from the Texans tonight. So you need to pick that apart, and you need to hit the middle of the field. You need to find Pat Fryermuth early and often. You need to use Gainwell and Warren with those quick underneath hitters out of the backfield. You need to use guys like Calvin Austin on drag routes to where you're getting them out in space and allowing them to run with the football. I think you need to do those things to continue to keep them back and not allow them to come up and take down the run game, because the run game is going to be very imperative for the Steelers tonight in terms of what they want to do in the action game, in the play action pass game. So I think definitely you need to see the Steelers utilize that short pass game, but not sideline to sideline. It needs to be quick underneath, middle, quick outs, things of that nature, but it needs to be forward, not sideline to sideline type passes. Let's take a look at the rest of that secondary for the Houston Texans. Bullock, Petrie, also have 4 interceptions each. So you look at that back end of the Texans defense, and pretty much everybody has 4 interceptions, double-digit pass defenses, and a ton of solo tackles. So what does the secondary, though, having a ton of solo tackles tell you about a defense? Also, yes, they are really, really good. They're really good against the pass, but when you see a ton of tackles made in the back end, that means what? That you can run the football effectively if you really, really try. Yes, you can. Yeah, they can blow up the run. We've seen it many, many times. They can handle it. I'm just saying that it's there. You can use it. It's there. You can see it. You just got to make sure that you figure out how to take advantage of it. Is it statistically maybe their worst thing? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you look at different areas and find holes that others may not have been able to exploit, because you can exploit those things. Somebody said I'm a big tool on here, but his name's Popcorn on here. You have a name like Popcorn, and you're going to call somebody a tool. Black and Gold 36. I love some Warren Moon. Those Central Division Oilers unis were sweet. They were like the Carolina Blue. Yeah, man, you gotta love Warren Moon. Warren Moon was something special. Hammer King 12. The Oilers left Houston because Mayor Bob Laminer didn't want to build a bigger stadium, not because of ticket sales. I don't know. I don't know anything about the Houston Texans, nor do I give a fuck. To be real about it, not to be rude. All right, like, share, and subscribe if you're not already. 10 wins is tough in any case. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. Yeah, and the original Dawn brings up a good point. He's definitely a Texans fan. We know that. But he's bringing up a very good point here when you're talking about playoff football. What are you talking about? Beating the best teams. And I know everybody gets really wrapped up into matchups and who you got to play and what's the easiest road. There is no fucking easy road in the playoffs. There is none. Playoff football is different. It's different, guys. Very fucking different, guys. I try to tell you that. And you got to remember, playoff football is totally unexpected. Look how every game has played out, really, basically. Last night, I think the biggest margin of victory was the Patriots beating the Chargers by what, like 13-3 or 16-3 or something like that. And that game was super close and could have went either way until the bitter end. That's how playoff football is. And it gets tighter and tighter each year. And you got to play good teams. And it doesn't matter where you got to play, who you got to play. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. We got DK back, and he is angry. The Texans is going to lose. Throat Puncher 74. We're going to kick Houston in the effing nuts. Time to get dirty, Brother Jay. Amen, man. Let's rock and roll. Black and Gold also says if we handle their first couple haymakers and counter with our own, I feel like we can control the game for the most part with a heavy balance of Warren and KG. Yeah, guys, Warren and Kenneth Gainwell and Jaylen Warren are going to be the most pivotal parts of this game for the Steelers when you talk about offensive football. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is going to be a key, and he might have to have some late game heroics and things of that nature in a close game. Yes, but in terms of controlling the game, it has to be Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Warren. The Steelers got to be able to commit um, a ton of time in terms of time of possession. They got to be able to control the football because the best weapon against that Houston Texans defense is what? Is controlling the football and wearing them down. That's your best weapon if you are the Pittsburgh Steelers, and keeping your defense fresh and allowing them to be able to go out and tee off on CJ Stroud. Everybody's predicting DK to have a big game tonight coming off suspension. I'm going to go the opposite way with that. I'm going to say DK has an average game tonight. I think he comes up with some big plays, yes. But why I say that is because of the timing and the rhythm being off because DK hasn't been in. They were just really starting to heat up when he made that bonehead move. And I think that's going to set him back. If I'm going to think of anybody that's going to be a real hero tonight in the wide receiver room, I'm going to go against the grain and pick somebody that's absolutely off the fucking wall and nobody would expect to have a big game. And I think that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who had his worst game as a pro in Cleveland, in my opinion, had several game chances to win that game and didn't, was unable to bring it in. I think he is going to have a game that is one for the history books. I do. I think there is going to be a couple plays from MVS tonight. I'm not saying statistically he blows it out of the water. I'm just saying there's going to be a couple plays tonight that MVS makes that are going to change this game. I really do. Him and Pat Fryermuth. JP Dawson says Texans D is real good. In my opinion, Aaron might be the only quarterback left that can beat that D. Hope he does. I think you are onto something with that. When you're talking about this playoff team of the Houston Texans, I got to say, I think I agree with you. When we talk about who could beat the Texans, they make it past the Steelers tonight. I don't think anybody beats the Texans. And I'm going to be real with you about that. I think if the Steelers can't beat the Texans and the Texans move on, I think the Texans represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. But I did say whoever won the AFC North because of the storylines would end up representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. So we'll see. Yeah, I think that's funny too, man. That's funny, Robert. He is, Tom. I really, really love CJ Stroud. Why do you keep putting in there that Rodgers is in trouble tonight? Steelers are not ready for this defense. He gets the ball out faster than anybody. You ain't gonna fucking hit him that many times. You're gonna sack him probably one or two times. You ain't gonna sack him like you think, Emma. And I'm not trying to be rude. You're not knowing the dynamics of each team. You're looking at your team only and saying to yourself, "Well, we got a good defense. They got a lot of sacks." The Steelers aren't far behind them in sacks. And what's different from that to the Steelers? I don't get you. The Steelers' defense is pretty damn good too. Yeah, they have some blown plays, no doubt about it. I think the back end and the secondary of the Houston Texans is better in terms of defensive rosters. No doubt. But again, you got to look at every variable before you just say he's not ready for it. Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer. He's played against better defenses than this, believe it or not. Everybody wants to crown the Texans as some great team. Guys, they barely won some of these games. 90% of these games in this 9 game win streak have been by just a couple points. And I'm not dogging that because you got to win by any means necessary. But we're not talking about a world beater here. We're not talking about a team that just blows people out. We're not talking about that. Yes, they are a good team, and I think they go on to the Super Bowl if they can make it past the Steelers because I do think nobody else can handle this defense besides Aaron Rodgers. I really do think that. But I think Aaron Rodgers, if the Steelers, I gotta say this, I think whoever wins this game tonight wins, makes it to the Super Bowl for the AFC. There you go. Whoever wins this game, that's who makes it to the Super Bowl. The defense going to be in trouble with DK going hard and angry because now people have been saying that he is angry at the NFL, and this is danger. This is the dangerous DK ever, most dangerous DK has ever been after 2 games. We'll see, man. We'll see. Cam is possessed. and has been since the beginning. I hope he plays his best football game ever. He is, Jamal. You can't stand it. The team that scores first will have an advantage. I think it's going to be that kind of game. Yeah, I think it's going to come down to a late game field goal or something. That's what I think it's going to come down to. And I've been sitting here really rattling my brain on how this all transpires and how this all goes. Um, it's going to be really tough for me to pick here, but I'm going to pick it really, really soon here today. We need home games for our linebackers. Recognize the screens and don't get caught flat-footed with crossing wide receivers. Yeah, the Steelers can't though have Highsmith and Queen and all those guys covering any fucking wide receivers, man. That is a fucking dumb thing they do. Houston will beat my Broncos. Heck, I don't even think we get past the Bills, to be honest. But if somehow did, I dang sure don't want to face Houston. That's from JP Dawson. Jonathan Stevens, uh, we are in here. I have a feeling we got this. 100% good to see you all. Thank you, man. Good to see you. All right, guys, I'm going to mix up and see if there's anybody that I haven't got to yet. The Texans' horns can't penetrate steel. You're right about that. By the third quarter, receivers don't even want to catch the ball because they are going to get punished, but you don't know that. Okay? It's the playoffs, dude. Get a life. People are nuts. Also, dude, you're talking about a Texans team that's never won a road playoff game. Yeah, they've lost them all in the divisional round. I get that. Can't hasn't won in the cold, outdoors especially, or well, of course, outdoors. You're talking about a Houston Texans team that's due for a loss. That really didn't blow anybody out in their 9 game win streak. I don't think they blew anybody out. Most of those were by like 6, 7 points or less in terms of their wins. You're talking about a Steeler team that's just as hot as the Texans. The Steelers have been 4-1 in their last 5, coming off a really, really momentum building win in Week 18. So yeah, I definitely think the Steelers have a chance. Definitely, I don't think this is just going to be a blowout Texans win. Here's somebody that says 24-7 Texans. Yeah, I don't like it. Dumping off the Gainwell is the offense. Then you've never watched the Steelers, then, buddy. If that's what you think the whole offense is. Jeremy Dietz says, I think the Texans going to lose by a lot. My prediction Steelers 30-21. Oof, that's a big one. You're only talking shit because of a missed field goal. No, I'm talking shit because the Steelers won a game in Week 18 and went 4-1 in their last 5, beating Baltimore Ravens twice. Also, we want to talk about the missed field goal. That's football. That's football. What have the Texans done? They barely beat people. Yeah, they've gotten wins, but what have they done? Found ways to win, right? But you're going to dog the Steelers for doing the exact same thing, finding ways to win. I wouldn't be so. If I'm a Houston Texans fan, I'm going to warn you about something. And this is coming from somebody that actually cheers for a franchise that's won a lot of fucking playoff games, that's won a lot of fucking Super Bowls. And this is just some friendly fucking advice to you. Don't get too cocky. Don't get too conceited about your football team because it'll come back and bite you in the fucking ass. I'm telling you. Don't do it. Don't do it. This is a friendly public service announcement from a fan of a team that has actually won fucking playoff games, that has actually won Super Bowls, that is always somewhere in the mix. Friendly public service announcement. Don't get yourself yeah, don't get yourself too confident. I think Muth has a big game and Calvin Austin gets a few good ones, but DK just takes the attention. Yeah, having DK definitely helps. All right, guys, I'm going to get up out of here. I'm going to try to go live after the game because this is the playoffs. I'm going to try to make sure that I stay alert enough and awake enough to be on, win or lose. I'm going to try my best. You guys know me and know that I am not a big fan of late night shows. It's just not my thing. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. But I want to wish Steeler Nation this. I want to wish you this. I want you to enjoy tonight, whether it's a win or loss. These things don't happen often. Don't be like these Houston Texans fans that think they're unfucking beatable with a team that mostly won all their games in this 9-game win streak by 6 points or less. You don't get conceited. And I'm going to give you my score prediction here, and it's exactly what Jonathan Stevens just put up. But I'm going to pick a different way. I just wrote this down, and this has been wrote down for a while. 24 or 27-24. You see, I have the H under the 27, and I have the S under the 24. That's what I wrote down about midway through the show. I got the Steelers losing tonight in a heartbreaker, 27-24 to the Houston Texans. Could that go a different way? Yes, but I think the Steelers do lose this game. Um, but I think it's still one hell of a ride. And I'm very thankful for what the Steelers have given us this season. I'm very thankful for what the fan base has done this season. And I think the X factor in tonight's game, which could sway it, those 3 points, guys. I think the real X factor tonight is the fans at Acrisure Stadium. I think Steelers Nation is the X factor in all of this. The Steelers haven't played in front of that home fan base for a long time, since around 2017 was the last time the Steelers played in front of that home fan base with an actual crowd, I believe. And it may even be longer than that. But that is going to be a difference. If you've never been at Acrisure Stadium and you're a Houston Texans fan and you've probably never been to Acrisure Stadium, Heinz Field, you've probably never stepped foot in the cathedral of football, which is Heinz Field, Acrisure Stadium. You've probably never stepped foot in that place. And I get it that you wouldn't understand the dynamic of Steelers Nation. But I'm going to tell you, if that crowd is what I think it's going to be, they are going to be like a bunch of fucking rabid dogs. And you are not going to be able to hear shit inside of that stadium. Mark my words. If you think I'm fooling, you think I'm lying, you think I'm crazy, you think Arrowhead was loud, it's going to be pretty similar. Arrowhead's closed the whole way in. So it's a little bit louder in terms of the way the bowl's set up. So Arrowhead definitely is louder just because of the stadium configuration. But a stadium with virtually an open end to be as loud as Heinz Field is, Acrisure Stadium is, you have never seen anything like that, not playoff football wise. And if you're the Houston Texans and Houston Texans fans, I'm going to caution you with that tonight. When CJ Stroud and that offense are constantly jumping off sides, when they're constantly confused, when they're constantly not able to get audibles and things into CJ Stroud for him to be able to call it because it's so fucking loud and they're picking the damn lint out of their teeth. It's a different type of world. Welcome to hell, Houston, because you're about to enter it tonight. You truly are. This is different. This is where football is definitely the cathedral of football is what I call it at Heinz Field. The Mecca of football is what I call it. And I know Texas is big high school football, college football, but this is the National fucking Football League. The Dallas Cowboys suck ass, and the Houston Texans might get dog walked in the fucking Pittsburgh in the Steel City tonight. I'm just telling you, the lint's gonna be flying. The crowd's going to be loud. And yes, I picked the Texans to win 27-24, but I wouldn't put it past the Steel City to make one more magical run at the hand of Aaron Rodgers, Mike Tomlin, Cam Hayward, and TJ Watt to where we haven't got to see one of those magical rides in quite some time. In Steelers Nation, I got one more thing to say to you. We are fucking due. Let's go, baby.
Takes an approach as a coach. Let's go. Let's go. It's a field back block, and that's